some of the things that are common to all slumps. First of all, a slump is something that is unpleasant. That's number one. One of the things that I do in this world is I market life insurance. And whenever I do my lectures, I say to people, there's nothing pleasant about the subject of insurance. There's nothing to rejoice about. Insurance is not bad news, but it is certainly not exciting news. Insurance is nothing more than a necessary evil. Because for your insurance to work, something bad has to happen. Fire insurance, your house must burn down. Health insurance, your body must break down. Life insurance, you must lie down. But there's a thing called the flu that flies around. And I know there's some people who just love to catch. Them just too crabbit. You know what I mean? Them just too craven. Everything them see them want. And them see the flu flying about the place and them hold it and grab it and catch it. So them catch the flu. And when they catch the flu, what do? They hold on to it. All 2 weeks flu and them a play. Why? Because they don't want to go to work. Usually you can tell the people who are self-employed, they don't catch flu for long. Because they know that when they don't work, they don't get paid. And there's no sick leave and this leave and that leave. You don't work, you don't get paid. So usually the self-employed people tend to have a shorter acquaintance with the flu. Help us focus now as we get into what now? The explanation for the slump. The slump does not occur by magic. The slump occurs because there was either something that we did that we should not have done, or there was something that we did not do that we should have done, or there was something that we allowed to be done to us that we should not have allowed to be done to us, or there was something that we did not allow to be done to us that we should have allowed to be done to us. One of those four. And trust me, if you examine yourselves, if you examine any situation you find yourself in, you will realize that it must be one of those. But the point is that whenever we find ourselves under attack, regardless of the kind of attack, there are two kinds of approaches we can take. One, we can take defensive approach. But two, there comes a time where we have to stop defending, and in our own interest, we have to start attacking. If you kind of defend, you know, defend, the man lick you, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, 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 bam. After a while, you see, he might be looking your face, but trust me, a hand will catch up. Yeah, boom, bam, bam, bam. And you know that, of course, one will get through. You have to lick 2 times. You don't lick 2 times, you might not survive. So I want to say to you that one, when we find ourselves in a slump, we've got to be careful. 2, we've got to go into offensive. Now, what is the offensive for a slump? You see you and me, and all of us here, see these 7,000 people? We are the cream of the insurance industry. 2% of all the agents in the world qualified to be here like how we are here. I said, Tony, that's not what I asked you. They asked you, who are the men across there? What are they? Who are they? He said, those men, and he laughed again. Now, this time, of course, is bigger than I am. But I kind of do the martial art and trust God and lick him up. They're kind of getting aggravated now. And he probably got the message. He said, Godfrey, we are the cream of the insurance industry. But those men are the cream of the cream. He said, those men have qualified to attend the top of the $1 million round table. I said, sir, what top? You never tell me this table of top and bottom. All you tell me is about the table. All we hear is MDRT, $1 million round table, we never had top and bottom. And you want to say, you send me to the bottom? And I looked at the man, and I looked, and then something happened to me that made an indelible impression in my life. In this world, God made us some black, some white, some in between. But trust me, when you're a black man, even if you don't know it, everybody else reminds you of it. Right or wrong? Especially in the first world countries. And I look at these people who are qualified for the $1 million round table, And I look at number 1, white. Number 2, white. Number 3, Chinese. Number 4, Syrian. Number 5, white. White, Syrian, Chinese. White, Syrian, Chinese. White, Syrian, Chinese. I said, hold on. Something wrong. Something wrong. So I turned to Tony and said, Tony, this thing is not just ordinary insurance qualifications. You must have pigmentation must be a part of the consideration. He said, no. Those just happen to be the cream of the cream. And then I look and I look and I look and I spy and I spy and I spy. And I look and I look and I look. Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 14. And then way down the back, I see one black man. I said, my God. 400 life insurance agents qualified for the top of the $1 million round table throughout the world. And only one black man. My heart broke. I wept uncontrollably. I thought of all sort of things and I said to myself, blame it on slavery, blame it on this, blame it on that. I don't care what you want to blame it on. It must be our fault. Right there and then I decided that I never know what it took to make top of the table. But I decided right there and then. I said, so help me Almighty God. It's one of two things. You either make me a white man right now. Or if that is too hard for you, let me give you an easier choice. Next year, I will be at the top of the $1 million round table. And all you do to yourself be true. But when all is said and done, the battle fought will not be won in any place under the sun other than in thyself. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life. Today you can decide whether the slumps that overtake you will be temporary or permanent. Today you can decide whether you will pity yourself and attract disaster to yourself, or whether you will say, God has given me all that it takes to succeed. I have known the good times. I've known the bad times. But I also know that I am in charge of my destiny. And with my hands in the hands of Almighty God, with my eyes before me, keeping the negatives behind me or beside me, I know that as I rose from my slump, so you too can rise from your slump and succeed. God bless you.